Good afternoon. My name is Casey Clark, and today I will be talking about the movie Don't Breathe. This movie is set in modern-day Detroit. Three friends, Rocky, Alex, and Money, break into the home of wealthy owners for their jobs. After Alex disables the security system, they begin to grab the nicest-looking items they can get their hands on. When they're done, they throw a rock through the plate glass door and run. This routine is what they do every time for their job. Rocky lives with their little sister, Diddy, and their abusive mother, Ginger, and her boyfriend, Trevor. All three characters don't have nice lives, and they do these jobs in search of better lives. Money gets a tip from one of his connects about a man living in a house with more than $300,000 in cash stashed somewhere. There's a rumor that the man is a war veteran and that he lives alone after his daughter was killed in a car accident. Rocky is on board since this could be the last robbery they ever have to pull off, but Alex doesn't agree with the plan. The three friends stalk his house for a while and they realize he is blind, and the only way he gets around is with his dog. Three friends go in and try to rob the house later that night, and it doesn't end well for them. I really thought the actors in this movie were pretty good, but the performance of the blind man, Stephen Lane, is great. He is not blind in real life, but he really makes the audience believe that he is blind. Alex, Dylan Minnette, is also plays a great role because she makes the audience believe that she is in a real dilemma. The aesthetics of this movie are solid. Most of the movie is shot in a normal house, but they shot some really cool footage of when it was pitch black in the room, and they had some great night vision shots that I really enjoyed. They added music that intensified the mood of the movie, and it made it even more scary than it actually was. I would recommend this movie to anyone who likes a good thriller. I wouldn't recommend this to kids because there are some graphic scenes, but anyone 13 and up would enjoy it. Even though this movie is in the horror category, I see it as more of a thriller because it is about how three friends basically get trapped in a house, and it is about their journey to get out, which isn't easy. I hope you watch this movie and enjoy it as much as I did. Now over to my partner, Bianca.
Hi, my name is Bianca, and here I'm going to talk about a review of a show that has been all over social media. One of the most popular shows on Netflix is Stranger Things, starring Winona Ryder and David Harbour. The show has won awards for their outstanding performance in the Ensemble and Drama series and Producer's Guide of America. The show has taken place in the 1800s in the small town that follows the disappearance of a young boy, an appearance of a psychokinetic girl, and a monstrous chain of events that are trying to find the young boy. Winona Ryder stars as the mother of the missing boy, and the way she acts is outstanding, so she gets into character phenomenally. Her performance throughout the show is absolutely outstanding, and I cannot see anyone else being able to pull it off the same way she does. The way the director made it seem like the shooting was in the 1800s was such phenomenal. Every camera angle shot was perfect, and I would sure not change anything about it. The special effects were used was fantastic in every way. Stranger Things is now coming out with a new season airing on October 31st of 2017, and it's having fans on the edge of their seats. I cannot wait, and I'm very excited. And here's my colleague, Trace Kerr.
Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain was a very good movie and it surpassed my expectations. When I saw the trailer, I was really excited, especially with me being such a big Mark Wahlberg fan. The plot of the movie was a very action-packed, exciting movie. This movie claims to be based off a true story, but is only semi-true. The star of the movie is with Daniel Lugo, who is played by Mark Wahlberg, and goes quite in depth about how he isn't happy with what he has. He's a personal trainer at Sun Gym and has decided he wants more and wants to be a somebody. That's when he starts to come up with a plan to get his money by kidnapping one of his clients. He talks to his friend Adrian about the plan, and he wants in. He also talks to this guy Paul, who's applying at Sun Gym, and he wants in too. They come up with a good scheme, and all is going well until they completely messed up without realizing it. The plan was just to kidnap and not hurt the victim, whose name is Victor Kershaw. As the plan slowly goes downhill and Kershaw recognizes Lugo from his cologne, they decide they need to kill him. The first attempt was a fail, but they were sure they had done a good job on the second attempt. Kershaw remained alive without Lugo and them even knowing. He brought a private detective on the case after Miami police turned him down. As the word was out for three bodybuilders who kidnapped him, Lugo and his friends got bloodthirsty for more money. They make their attempt at a second job, which also goes horribly wrong. As Daniel and his client Frank are in Adrian's workout room making a deal, Frank calls Daniel an amateur. Without any intention, Daniel gets mad and accidentally kills him. Soon after that, they kill Frank's wife, and cops raid Paul and Adrian. While all of that is going on, Daniel takes a boat to an offshore account in the Bahamas owned by Kershaw. Police are on their way to get him and pull up to the bank just as Lugo's in the safe deposit box. It's towards the end of the movie, and Lugo's happy because he finally gets to be a somebody. He has a full fleet of cops waiting for him at the end and realizes how he actually got to be known. I had very high expectations for this movie, and I did enjoy it. The whole plot of it looked very good and did not disappoint me. I would highly recommend the movie to just about anybody, but I would also recommend it to people who really like action. They packed a lot into a short film and did a great job at it. Now over to my colleague, Brendan.
Hi, I'm Brennan. I'll be reviewing the TV show Grey's Anatomy. I reluctantly started watching this show because I thought I would be easily grossed out by all of the blood and surgeries. But as I watched, I was easily hooked. The story is based around the main character, Meredith Grey. Meredith goes through her intern years as a surgeon, intern, resident, and soon attending. The show follows the drama and gossip around the hospital, dealing with relationships, surgery, and character conflicts. The acting in the show is very good as there are a lot of deaths and accidents. The acting is truly believable. The emotions that come out on the show are very realistic and I feel would happen in a real hospital. The filming set of the show is very realistic. When you watch, you feel that each characters are actually in a hospital. Each operating room looks like one you would find in an actual hospital. Not knowing where this was filmed, I would definitely think it was in a real hospital. To conclude, I think Grey's Anatomy is a great show and I would recommend it to all. It is currently in its 13th season and they plan to continue for some more. Every medical case is a true case that has happened in real life and the show is very realistic. Now over to my partner, Teddy.
Hello and welcome to Teddy Hickey's Reviews. Today we'll be looking at an episode of a very old yet very popular TV show, only known as The Twilight Zone. The episode we're looking at here today has given the well-deserved title of Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. The story takes place on an airplane at a time not discussed within the film. Our main character named Bob Wilson, who is with his wife Julia Wilson, is on their way back from a mental hospital after our main character Bob has had a nervous breakdown on an airplane. The main antagonist is a gremlin that is first seen outside on the plane wing, tearing it to pieces. Bob spots the creature and tries to alert the crew and other attendants on the plane, but as soon as they arrive, the creature has vanished. This happens multiple times throughout the show until they land. At the end, we see Bob being wheeled off in a roller with his wife Julia talking to the paramedics about Bob. He has had another nervous breakdown and needs therapy immediately. I would recommend this to basically anybody who's into the horror genre. Next, we have Jen back with her review.
With award season coming to a close and spring and summer shows preparing to air, fans of HBO's hit Game of Thrones are growing eager every day in wait of the new season, which will air sometime mid-2017. Not only has the show grown a massive following, but has also found itself a frontrunner at award shows, receiving 106 Emmy nominations since first airing, making it the most Emmy-nominated drama of all time. The show takes place in an era that mostly resembles medieval Europe, but with elements of fantasy. It centers around 5 powerful families, all fighting for political dominance over the fictitious land Westeros that they call home. The writers and producers do an incredible job depicting each family and their strengths and weaknesses, making it hard to pick a favorite. The leading men and women of Game of Thrones are nothing short of incredible. In the cast lineup includes actresses Emilia Clarke, Lena Headey, Sophie Turner, and actors Kit Harington, Peter Dinklage, and Liam Cunningham. The show has been and continues to be praised for its focus on smart, empowered female characters, many of whom play some of the show's most important characters. The women of Game of Thrones are intelligent, clever, strong, and are often the ones who pull all of the strings in the politics that this show centers around. When it comes to visuals and special effects, Game of Thrones surpasses its competitors with grace. Most awards that the show has claimed are awards for outstanding visuals and techniques. Whether it's dragons, people made of ice, or wildfires, Game of Thrones delivers like no other. With its stunning visuals, star-studded cast, and incredible story, Game of Thrones has landed itself a spot among the greatest television shows of all time. And now over to my colleague, Christian.
Hi, my name is Christian Papalera, and I will be reviewing the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, directed by Steven Spielberg. The movie was released in theaters on June 12, 1981, starring Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, Karen Allen as Marion Ravenwood, and Paul Freeman as Dr. Rennie Belloc. In the movie, the Nazis have found a location where a piece of the Staff of Ra could be located. It is an object that could lead them straight to the Ark of the Covenant. The U.S. government found out about this and now hired Indiana Jones, an archaeologist and an adventurer, to find the Ark before the Nazis do, who are guided by Dr. Belloc on this expedition. The acting is well done, and a lot of fighting scenes are brutal, though the actors do manage to add a little bit of comedy into each fight. Especially, there's one scene when Indy shoots an Egyptian warrior doing a ton of flashy sword moves. The sets and landscapes of the movie look absolutely incredible. From snowy slopes of the Himalayas to the desert drylands of Cairo, all look amazing. The movie is very colorful and takes place in many parts of the world. One of my favorite parts of the film is when Indiana Jones is running away from the Jovito Indians in the beginning of the movie. To conclude, this is one of my favorite movies, and it's pretty hard to find flaws in this one. I recommend it for everyone who enjoy adventure and action-packed movies. Thanks for listening. And now to my colleague, Brendan Keeley.
The 2011 film Melancholia by Lars von Trier stars Kristen Dunst as Justine, who is a woman on her wedding day, and Charlotte Gainsbourg as Claire, her sister who plans the wedding. The movie is split into 2 acts. Act 1, which is called Justine, is all about her wedding and how she suffers from depression, which is a major theme in this film. And Act 2, which is called Claire, is all about Justine's relationship with Claire and Melancholia colliding into Earth. The film's 2 leads, Kristen Dunst and Charlotte Gainsbourg, give 2 beautiful performances as sisters at odds with the depression before and during the end of the world. This is a movie that relies on facial expression to tell a story, and they do that really well, and they really carry this movie along. As for the movie's aesthetics, they are gorgeous. The film opens up with an 11-minute montage with the 2 stars doing various things in slow motion, while in the background, Melancholia is crashing into Earth. That is probably the most beautiful part of the whole movie, and it is so stunning to watch. The way the film is shot is also really interesting. It has these jarring jump cuts and very intimate close-ups and zoom-ins that make the movie really fascinating to watch, and I applaud Lars von Trier for what he's done in this film. In the end, Melancholia is a fantastic movie that is visually stunning and took my breath away with the acting and the plot. This movie is definitely one not to miss. And now off to Nick.
Hello, I'm Nick, and I'm going to be reviewing Batman vs. Superman. Most reviews for Batman vs. Superman were mainly bad, but I didn't view it as a bad movie. I just thought maybe the story was missing a few things. The best thing from this movie was Batman. In my mind, I think this is the best Batman we've seen in movies for a long time. It is so hard to go against like the Christian Bale Batman, as that is one of the best superhero movies, period. Batman is a better combatant. He was easier to move. I think he looks a lot better and he sounds a lot better. For the story of Batman vs. Superman, there are a lot of low points and scenes you just don't understand. Like the ending scene, Martha. I won't go too much into that because I don't want to spoil anything. The villain for this movie didn't really make that much sense. It was a Superman villain named Doomsday. Doomsday is the one big bad for Superman. He is the one that killed him in the comics. There was supposed to be a big trilogy for Man of Steel, all the Superman movies. The last one was going to have Superman and Doomsday. Doomsday was going to kill him, and I thought that was going to be a way better movie. Anyways, Batman vs. Superman was good, and thanks for watching.